Uh,
Jerome, I am a very sane person, contrary to what my husband would lead you to
oh
believe.
my God. Here we go.
I don't take sample sizes. I know you are.
Technology was not being kind to you. You were being cut off every other word.
Say it again. Hold up. You know we live, right? So, you want to finish off? You want to join? All right.
I don't want to pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Jerome. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. Wait a minute. Boy, Jerome, Jeremy already
Frozen.
on already? Jeremy on. What's going on, Mr.
All
McKinney?
right, man.
Good. Peace and blessings to
Yeah.
you, my brother. Man, on already.
What's up,
We
fam?
ready for this, dig. Hey, we got a team to
Hey,
dig
you was
with us,
freezing
though.
up a little bit. Hopefully that was just
Oh,
a
me?
minor thing. Right.
Oh, because I
Yeah.
said
It froze for a little
hey,
bit.
we got a team of diggers that's coming in. Uh-oh. Oh, we got a third one on. Uh-oh. Ah, there we
Hello,
go.
hello, hello. Great day,
Wait a minute,
grand
we're going with Mama.
evening.
Boy, she with
Yes,
you see the name?
yes,
Mama.
of course.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. This show gonna be a little interesting. It's gonna be interesting today. Um,
Right.
are you taking this stuff, eh? Again, this is the Three Headed Monster podcast, and
Hello,
we
how
just
you
get ready
doing?
to build. We get
I'm
ready to
wonderful.
build.
How are you?
Uh, so, all right, this is my cousin
All
Ashley.
is
My
well.
bad. Introduce yourself, Miss Biat.
Hi, I I am Ashley, aka Mama Ma'at. That's my spiritual name, and of course, I'm from Spartanburg, South Carolina. And I'm here to drop this knowledge on whoever want to
Hold
listen.
on, hold on.
So you want to whoever want to listen. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right, but Jerome has he can do his little thing. But today's show, we're gonna be jumping back into this idol worshiping, and we wanted to bring a different feel to it. We wanted to bring a feminine energy in, so we can get a better balance of what we do. Um,
Hmm.
so again, to everyone, like, share, join in, comment in. Um, you know how me and Drone is. Somehow we just, we can't never do a short show. But also, we also trying to so if we building, let's build and let's see what all the things that we can do. So um I like to go out with, let's keep it positive. Let's grow within ourselves. Let's understand what we're talking about. Again, we talking is only our opinions. Everybody's an expert, but at the same time, we want to make sure you understand that it's our opinions, period, that we speak in. Now, everybody can agree and disagree. Okay, not hurt my feelings, huh? But at the same time, I mean, this is what we do. So to Mother Miat, this is kind of like how we do. It's it's like barbershop talk. We just like we sitting at a cookout and we just sit here and we just build it. So
Hmm.
that's what we do. So it ain't like super deep. It can get deep. I don't know how it is, so but we do go deep. But we want to continue off the energy that we had on Monday, which was we was really talking about we was getting deep into it, but our show only can only go but so far. We was getting into the forms of idol worshiping that we do. Uh, I'm waiting for Jerome to come on and give us his kind words before we start because I need to hear it because it's kind of like the tribal master is telling us what he got to do.
Hmm.
So go ahead, Jerome, get them words out right quick so I can go in.
All right. First of all, we'd like to welcome our guests.
Yes.
And welcome all our Facebook family and our YouTube family. As B said, like, share, hit the notification so you know when the three-headed monster is on. Um, as always, everything that we say is our opinion. Don't believe anything that we tell you. Anything that you hear, take it, research it, find your truth, come back. Let's build upon that and let's go forward. What's up, B?
See, you see how better he says it versus I say it. I say it more like I'm ready to stab the shit out of you, and Jerome, he's so elegant. But let me ask
That's
this
why we're
question to
the team,
yeah.
baby. That's why we're a
What is,
team.
when you think of idol worshiping, what comes to your mind? Mother
Oh,
Mia?
you asking me?
Yeah.
What comes to mind is, to me, idol worship is, I would probably say, a natural instinct. It is something we naturally do, and I don't think that it's deemed a bad thing. But I think that ultimately, we need to understand it a little bit more, for sure.
But the way that we say it is, it's more of you giving your energy to something that you really don't even pay no attention to. And right now, after watching what has happened in the last um, last week, because I actually, Jerome, did you know we had an earthquake up here? We had a 4.8 earthquake up in Philly. I was at
Dang.
the building shook, and I was like, okay, what was that? But it shook
Yeah,
some
I
people.
heard about it, but I didn't know.
Yeah, it literally
Mm.
happened. And
It was like days after before I found out.
so when it happened, now we looking at it as I think that was on a Friday, and then we had the eclipse that a lot of people that's watched the little 4 seconds of whatever happened, not understanding what they paying, what they you know contributing to, but idol worshiping is something that a lot of people need to really pay attention because your time and your energy is something and that's why a lot of times when it comes to the Christian community, you in church and you locked in, that's a lot of your energy getting poured in or getting pulled out of you and don't know where it's going or don't know understand where it's coming to. I mean, we know where it's going to. We can understand. I mean, we can get super deep and understand who you really giving your energy and your worship to because worship builds gods in certain phases of life. And it's more than one God, but everybody think it's just that one. But I know Jerome talked about it the other day when it comes to the Hebrew religions or the all Abrahamic faith, they all serve the same God. It's like South Carolina and Philly. We talk different, we think different, but we still serve. You still serving the same, but it's interesting when you see it. It's like the history of it is not the most positive. It don't bring peace. It brings more chaos than anything, and that's what religion all in itself. So let's build on this. Let's build on that. Who want to jump in on that? See, Jerome trying to be nice.
Yeah. Well, first, no.
So I'm gonna tell you.
First, for
Let me tell
anybody
you
that's
now.
out there, if you have questions,
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. No, what I said I was gonna say
you
is,
talking to me?
I was gonna tell her. It's
Okay,
like
so
Jerome has a tendency. I throw a lot of stuff out, and Jerome picks it apart.
Hmm.
So don't be surprised. I go on.
but
Okay.
first, if anybody's watching and you have questions, please type them in. We'll try to answer as many questions as we can as we go throughout the episode. Um, yeah, idol worship, man. It's like I think she was correct when she said that we all basically do it. I think it's part of our psychology, is to raise something above the pedestal, on the pedestal above us. It's like when we have wandering or things that we don't understand, we attribute it to God or God's way or God's happening. And so it's always things are out of our control. You know, we don't control our lives. So, you know, we attribute those things to God. And so we build idols. And so if you've been trained in church to look at an idol while they speak about these things, it glorifies an idol. Um, it's just amazing to me how we haven't figured that out, especially when the Bible, all throughout the Bible says, don't worship idols, don't build idols, don't have idols. But yet, that's what we do every day.
There you go. Would you mother me out? What you got on that? What you want to
Yeah,
follow?
Oh, yeah.
Let's jump in.
Like I said, I definitely feel like it's a part of our natural nature. Because originally that is really what we did in ancient times. We literally celebrated and honored several different things outside of ourselves, because ultimately we knew that all of the ones are a part of the one. So if all of the ones are a part of the one, when we actually worshiping something outside of ourselves, we're actually worshiping ourselves.
Interesting, because
Yeah,
go ahead, John.
yeah.
That's all you would say. Is yeah.
No. Go ahead, B. I'll jump
No,
in.
because I mean, we need to understand worship can bring out a lot of. It can do a lot for you, especially if it's mentally, if your mind is on the right page. And what we need to understand is a lot of times if we think of things and if we put our energy into what we thinking and with our thought process and we believe in what we put our energy in, it manifests into what it needs to be, or it starts slowly becoming something believable. And that's where we need to start understanding is we are putting a lot of stuff in motion, or we might be guided through the ancestors to push what we need to be pushing forward, because you still do get the extra, the intersecting of them talking to you or showing you or guiding you, especially in your dreams or in certain visions that you have, letting you know. That's only if you asking them to help you through what you need to, because we all part of the universe. We all part of the cosmic universe. And we just tend to want to put things in a box and say, it's this. So that's the only problem that I have when it comes to religion. It puts everything in a box, and it's putting everything it's under control to a certain extent that you cannot wave from it, because if you do, you deem good or you deem bad, no matter what. You have to stay in this. It's like you being on the football field. You can't go out of bounds. And that's the thing about when it comes to this, and that's my problem with it, is everything that we do, especially here in America, is under religion, no matter what. So we need to, I do not feel like we are breaking away from it. And the farther we break away from it, the more you see the choking that they need to force on us by trying to put us back in place. Put your people back in place. Put your people back in place. And that's the more thing that I feel like religion does to us. That's just my opinion and my thoughts. Anybody?
Oh yeah. Religion definitely puts us in a box, but what religion done was,
I mean,
Oh,
about to say,
go ahead.
what religion done is it took us away from our
Yeah, just go
natural
ahead.
nature. It took us away from our natural nature. Religion was designed to take us away from what we used to do in ancient times, what our ancestors used to do in ancient times. So actually, idol worshiping was something that we done naturally, but we also acknowledged the Most High in us more than anything. We reverenced ourselves, which we are the proverbial God or goddess of the universe. So it's all a part of the one, and we understood that in ancient times, but now we're so far removed from that. Now we have to go back to that mindset of understanding what in ancient times was actually valid. And that was the most valid part about ancient times, was that we honored God in everything and everyone. We idolized what was good, what was righteous. And now they're idolizing foolishness a lot of times, but they have to raise themselves up to understand what foolishness is and what righteousness is.
Oh, go ahead, Jerome.
Oh yeah, I like that. For me, I agree with the ancient period. Because I go back a long time, a long way in my study. Religion. First of all, let's start with religion. Religion is only a practice. It's something that simple man had no understanding of what was happening to him in the universe and the cosmos. So he came up with religion to explain things that he could not explain, right? And from that, practices were attributed to it. And then traditions attributed to it, folk stories attributed to it, and that's because simple man couldn't express what was happening in the universe or his surroundings. I look at it like if you even go like we just go back maybe 4, 5, 6,000 years to anything Kemetic in the Nile Valley. You see a lot of symbolism, but the symbolism wasn't idols that they would worship. It was just aspects of certain things, aspects of intelligence, aspects of integrity, aspects of different parts of nature. They were symbolic more so than idols. I think humans have a problem with one just because we're intellectual enough to communicate better than most animals with each other. And I'm talking about, from human to human. I think that we personify God or personify the Most High or personify um, the universe. And that's a problem to me because it's like, because they say, well, God hates this, God hates that, God loves this, God loves that. Well, you're personifying the energy. You're making it equal to you, what you hate, what you love, what he should do, what he shouldn't do, and that's personification. And to me, that's like I said, it's lower intellect. And we've gotten away from the higher intellect that we used to have in ancient times. With that, Brian always talks about understanding nature, right? Well, understanding nature is understanding that you as a human have an ecosystem and you have to learn how to survive in this ecosystem. We've lost who we were in the system. That's why the earth is diminishing because we've forgotten how to take care of it. We've forgotten how to connect with it. We've forgotten how to grow with it. And so for me, that's what idolism does. It takes us away from who we were in nature.
I don't know what to say after
Go
that,
ahead.
man. Because it goes back to understanding nature. Because if you respect nature, nature respects you back. It becomes a balance, and I think that the key word is respect. Because if you respect something, you show love towards it, and you understand it. It mirrors you. Sometimes it's what energy you put out there is the energy you get back. So when it comes to the respect of nature, because we destroy so much that, like for instance, we grow food in abundance, and then or we kill things in abundance, and we wasting more food than anything versus you kill what you need to, and then you're not out here savagely tearing everything up. Or we cut all these trees down because we need homes, and it's like it's a lot of homes, but it's not a lot of people in these homes. Or vice versa when it comes to certain things like that. But once you understand the balance of nature and understanding that we all here together trying to understand what our task and what our being is, or what is the purpose of you here. A lot of people don't want to know what the purpose is. A lot of people don't understand their purpose because it could be something higher than what you think it is, but it can be something simple. But we tend to want to hear it from somebody needs to tell you what you are instead of you just walking into what you need to be. Because who are you asking? Because you asking man ain't gonna tell you what you want to hear. That's why you have to connect with nature. That's why you need to go outside and ground yourself with the grass that's outside. Go hug a tree. Go sit in the woods and just sit there and just talk to the woods and talk to the trees. They'll talk back to you. But it's something that's in balance that's gonna come back to you. But you just gotta understand why you're doing what you do. A lot of people just don't even, they just like zombies. They just do what they want to do. Oh, somebody did ask a good question.
So if you want to say something, you just got to break in on Brian.
Okay. I know. I know how he works. He go in. He go all the way in.
I'm sorry. That's
You
why
good.
you gotta catch, break it down. But go ahead. Who wants to jump in?
You good, Brian. You can go.
Go ahead, sister.
You,
I got a question.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead. Let's think what
Go-
do you
go ahead. Ask the question.
you want to ask? Yeah,
no,
we
do
can
you
answer the
think
question. Y'all go ahead. Go ahead.
do you think religion will eventually fade away? No. Too much power and too much money. No. We gotta understand money
Sister, what do
makes
you think?
war. But no, because I mean, think about it. If you want to go through the history of it, we studied it in high school. We studied in the history when it comes to what was the Crusades. We hear that the Crusades was a good thing, but now when you look at it, it's like, was it really that good, or was we just people out here killing because one don't want to believe the other's
No, it was
purpose? But go ahead, Jerome. I want you to break in on that one because I know I got you. I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah,
When it
definitely. I'll definitely jump in. When you talk about religion, first of all, when you say, do you think religion will eventually fade away? No. One of the reasons why I think religion won't fade away is because, like I said, religion is simple man trying to understand the universe, trying to understand the things that are happening around them. And when they don't have an answer, that they can't find closure in that answer, they create religion. That it has to be a power that's higher than them, right? So if people are not going to study, if people are not going to devote themselves to higher learning, then there'll always be religion because the masses have to be taught by somebody because they're not going to invest in themselves. They're not going to invest, in this world. So you're always going to have religions.
Go ahead, Mother Mayat.
I personally
Now,
feel like
will they all be the same? No, it might change.
Well, your delay is killing me right now, Jerome. Dude, you got a
Is it
bad
me?
delay for real, man. You have a delay.
All right, I'm gonna come back in.
No, go ahead and jump out. But
I'm
go
gonna come
ahead.
back in.
Go ahead, Mother Mayat.
But ultimately, I feel like there's a 70% chance religion will fade away, only because from my observation of the world right now, I feel like people are leaving the churches by troves now, because they're starting to understand that there's much, much more than per se religion. Of course, most of us have grown up in religion, but I feel like it's more of a chance that more people will leave religion than that, especially on the melanated side. We're leaving religion more and more every day because people come to see me and they know that this is condemned by religion, as far as spiritual working, spiritual help. So it's like I would probably say, like I said, over 50% chance. It's like a 40-60 that more people will leave religion than will stay with religion because they're starting to know that there's much more because of the information that is out here. We can't deny that you can research or tap into any other religion, topic, whatever you want to know. And it's just the fact that the information is on the planet and available to people for people to tap in to other perspectives, to other, ideologies, or, they can kind of come up with their own theories on religion. And there more people day by day are leaning more towards the spiritual. And like I said, I say this because when I started my business in 2020, as far as coming out into the spiritual, coming out of the church and going into the spiritual, or basically coming out of the spiritual closet is what I call it. Once I came out of the spiritual closet and I started Natural Mamas, and for Natural Mamas to be like people start coming in by, more than I thought, because I thought everybody was mentally stuck in religion, where I was always a free thinker, even in religion. It took me back. I was like, okay, well, I didn't know how to deal with their energy, because it was a lot when people were coming to me, a lot. Like, I mean, over the past 4 years, I have been swamped with people, wanting to know more about spirituality versus religion, because they've noticed that religion hasn't gotten them anywhere. And like I said, I'm mostly speaking for melanated people, although I do have or had, you know, uh, clients and customers of other races. So I'm not limited to melanated people. But what I'm saying is a lot of melanated people came to me, surprisingly, in the midst of this whole religious debacle and deciding whether they want to stick with religion or versus spirituality. So I think people will eventually phase out religion and tap more into the spiritual, more so than religion. There'll still be those few. But once our elders die off, once this, like our generation of elders die off, because we are the forerunners for the new generation and we have strayed away from religion, I think once the elders die off and we leave this thing where it needs to go, religion will die off more, because we noticed young that religion didn't get us, it got us, it made us stay like this. We were steadfast on one level of existence. We never ever excelled or went down. We kind of wavered on the same. It was like being complacent. Now we're excelling, we're manifesting, we're becoming our highest selves. Like, we're reaching higher heights with spirituality versus what we did with religion, because religion has kept us stagnant. Religion kept us stuck. And even when I look at the scope of people today, I look at people and I'm like, I can see the stuckness from religion. And like I told one of my clients the other day, I said, it saddens me when I see people stuck in religion and they can't open their minds to anything outside of that. Like, there is nothing more than what we've been taught. And it just to see them stuck and not growing and not healing and not, what I'm saying? Like, because to me, religion never taught us to heal. And that is why I started my business, because I noticed that religion didn't teach people to heal. And I'm like, I'm healing on my own. I'm over here doing my thing, living my greatest motherfucking life. You feel me? I don't know. We cuss on this podcast, but
Yeah.
cussing is my first language. But but I'm over here healing and living my best life, and noticing my people just stuck, just depressed and sad and broke. And I mean, oh my God, just seeing how religion has done my people is sickening. And that's why, I decided to come out of the spiritual closet to let people know that you don't have to be stuck in a religion. Because even though I was in religion and I went to church, religiously for a good extent of my life, I strayed away from the church, not because of nothing particular. I strayed away from church for the stupidest reason. I can promise you it was nothing to do with the fact that I was on my spiritual journey. Of course, I was always on my spiritual journey, so I never thought about it. But now that I know what I know, I strayed away from the church because I knew that it was something there that kept people stuck and not growing. And I was like, okay, it's much, much more to this. So I started studying more of, history. Once you start studying history, you start putting the pieces to the puzzle together, and you're like, okay, religion has effed us up. It has caused mental illness in my people. And I'm sitting up here, I'm saddened by it. And I decided to start Natural Mamas to help people heal and to get out of the stuckness of religion.
And you talk about, you see where I get it from, Jerome? It's in the family. Hey, I do have a question. I got a question, and I really, really want.
Yes.
I
See.
really want to get this out. Have our parents, grandparents, great grandparents put us in bondage? And the reason why I say that is, did they forcing us to be a part of this religion? Did it, like going to church all the time? Did it put us in a bondage that is hard for us to get out because it's just engraved in us? It's part of your living because you had no choice. So, what do you think?
I absolutely think so. I absolutely feel like the bondage that they were subjected to in slavery, because we are post-slavery children. So to be post-slavery children, and kind of, we were the gods before, and now we fell asleep, and now we're waking back up, the gods and goddesses. So I feel like they didn't know any better, and they were afraid, and they did it out of fear. So, fear kept them stuck. So we have been in bondage post slavery, and we're trying to find our way back out of it. And that's where we are with it. We are trying, post slavery children, trying to find a way out of mental bondage that our ancestors put us in because they didn't have no choice. So they felt, because they lost their true gnosis of self.
Am I still freezing up? First of all, how's the picture?
Oh, my bad. I was on mute. Everything good. Everything good.
Am I
Let's
good?
build, man. Yeah, go ahead and start cooking. Go ahead and
All
put
right.
the seasoning
So,
on it. Put the seasoning on it.
All right. So what? So what I think about, first of all, what I think about religion is this: is that I think religion is a tool, right? We can be mad at religion, but we should be mad at the ones that put that instrument into our lives.
Okay.
The ones that understood the reason why religion holds so strong in us is because we are spiritual people. And because we are spiritual people and we've been given the wrong instrument of worship, the wrong instrument to express ourselves to the universe, that's why we feel stuck. Um, Let me give you a quick scenario. So, if you take slavery, right? People in bondage, they were having children, they had families at the time. So, if I take your children and I send them to another plantation and take those children and bring them to this plantation, now the mother would have a child, but she's not connected to the child. Not that she wouldn't love the child, but she's not going to give it everything that she would give her child because she's still missing her child, right? So now I can introduce into this broken family, these broken hearts, religion. And the religion just, you're not going to teach that child about your family background because the child is not your family. So it doesn't get any history from the mother that is with, the father that is with. So because you get no history, and I introduce this religion, all you know is religion going forward. So those children will teach their children, who will teach their children, all just religion because they lost the family connection. They lost the connection with history, right? It was a plan in mind. So you would never think about this. You would never enslave a people, belittle a people, dehumanize a
Oh, you're breaking up.
people, and then give them a book and the means to free themselves. You say I'm breaking up?
Yeah, you was breaking up on that. But go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh my. Did you hear anything I said?
Yeah, it caught up. It's
Okay.
it
So
speeds up. Okay.
okay, so you taking away the ability for them to connect with their history. You taking the ability to connect with your old spirituality, that which you had from wherever you believe you came from. You know, you're not connected to it anymore. So you have a disconnected people with an incomplete religion trying
Mhm.
to piece together life. So That's why we are in the situation. It has nothing to do per se with religion, but it's per se who used it as a psychological tool against us, because it is a psychological tool.
Okay, so now you answer my question. Do you feel like it's something that
What's the question?
is it something you feel like I say our grandparents or our great grandparents put us in bondage by introducing us to this and keeping a strong hold to it. So the fact is, we wouldn't believe anything else.
I mean, what else did they have? First, and then secondly, a child is only going to be, well, anybody is only going to be raised up as much as the person is that's teaching them. If you're teaching them how to be free-minded, then they will excel higher than you would ever think. But if you teach them from a perspective of this religion, this religion, this religion, that's all they know. If you look at people who try to get doctrines and try to speak and try to be eloquent, they do it through religion, not through free speech. They try to do these things in the aspects of how it is pleasing to the religion. It's been so indoctrinated in you. Anytime you talk about anything outside of religion, you're the devil. That's blasphemous. Da 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 da. So the indoctrination is they were indoctrinated, but they were indoctrinated with the whip.
You want to tag in on that, Mother Miyat?
He pretty much said everything I said. We post-slavery children, so being post-slavery children, and we didn't have nothing to do but to worship whatever we were taught to worship, our ancestors. So and they trickled that down onto this generation, and that manipulation has become so strong. It's become a stronghold on our people to where they can't think of nothing outside of that because of that indoctrination. So the indoctrination has literally caused us mental illness, and to literally see that our people are mentally ill because of religion is, to me, the most saddest thing I've ever noticed. And this is just me being my eye observing the universe for what it is. I'm an observer. I'm a mass observer at this point. And I look at my people and I see the state of their minds, and I'm like, this is absolutely sickening that they never question anything that was taught, because nothing that was taught us made sense. So why wouldn't you question it? Even though that book says don't question me, if somebody say don't question me, I'm going to question it, because why the hell are you saying that? You know what I'm saying? I need to know. It's stuff that questions that need to be answered. And we not finna do that. I'm questioning every damn thing. And the fact
Right.
that
But
we're
I think,
go ahead.
no, I think I want to put a pin where you at about questioning. I think that's because those who were put in charge of teaching the religion didn't teach it fully. Because you could take the book and you could live a full life, but it's the way it's being taught. Because they said don't question God. God is mysterious, right? That was all just sayings. When you look in Proverbs 4 to be exact, all it talks about is wisdom. It says if a man wants to know an answer, seek ye God. That's it. He said there's no answer that he won't answer for you. That's from the book. But yet you're being taught he's mysterious. Don't question. And that's the opposite of what he said.
Right.
You got to read the book. That people don't read the book. They just trust. They hear somebody as an eloquent speaker, somebody that can exegete and get all these terms to you and break this down, break that down, but they're not reading for themselves. You read it for yourself. You can find some extreme wisdom in there.
Oh yeah.
But nah, you're not going.
But I guess the main thing, because I'm telling y'all, you hit me with it. What is because let me answer a couple of these questions. Question was some of our great grandparents and our grandparents practice hoodoo, and which combine traditional African religious spirituality. I'm gonna say yes and I'm gonna say no. And the reason why I'm gonna say when I say no is if we already indigenous people here, that means we had our own spiritual system that we had already. So sometimes we need to understand when we have ritual. I mean, when you say hoodoo, everybody look at that as a negative because of the negative content that came with it or came behind it because of what the can I say Eastern? Yes, it's the Eastern, the Europeans thought. Let me say that. The Europeans thought of not understanding who we are. So we do question everything. And that's a good question. Let's see, free spirit, dragonfly. Wow, boy, that's a good one. That's a name right there.
I think just I'm gonna let the ladies speak. I don't want to jump in, but yeah, hoodoo, Verdun, there's all kind of older practices, and I want to call them practices that our people had, and we were taught those things were evil because those were the things that were giving us strength. We were using it to heal ourselves with the medicine, with the herbs, with the from the earth, and so they taught you all that was evil, so you would quit healing yourself. You know, that's part of the indoctrination. But go ahead. I just want to jump in on that.
You pretty much hit the nail on the head. Those systems, hoodoo, voodoo, Ifa, all of these systems, they're spiritual systems. They're not religions, and
Right.
we use them as tools. And even hoodoo has a Christian side. There's something in hoodoo called Christian witches, and they practice hoodoo.
Mm-hmm.
So these are spiritual
Mm-hmm.
systems that have been taught to us from our ancestors that we have strayed away from because the white man taught us to believe in religion. So we're relying on something outside of ourselves and our natural nature.
Oh,
Right.
So that's what it is. Spiritual systems was what we had before religion. We never had religion. Religion was actually created by, well, I take that back. Religion was created, it started with Akhenaten in ancient Egypt. Akhenaten started religion because he wanted to create a monotheism to pray to the sun. So it's a part of our people that started monotheism, which kind of strayed us away from our spiritual systems because he didn't want to believe in nothing but the one God, which is the sun God, Aten. But before he did that, there were many gods. Everybody worshiped the many that are a part of the one. So we had many systems that taught indigenous cultures, and we got taught religion to brainwash us and to control us.
I think it takes our power away. I think it takes whatever
Absolutely.
cosmic energy that we do carry. Because if you don't believe in yourself, because of again, you giving that energy to somewhere else or to another deity. If you don't believe in yourself, then you're lost. In other words, you're broken. You did mention something about healing and how we in the past we go to the church for healing and we're still broken down even more because of the people that's in the church that will bombard you with it and do this right here. And it's kind of like, why go somewhere when you know you're not going to be accepted fully? Because it's always a push pull because everybody wants to be on top. Everybody wants to be seen as that favorite. But at the same time, we not understanding history is so important, and I feel like history is starting to because I'm saying again, this eclipse did a lot. This eclipse is just the beginning of seeing a lot of things that's going to change, and I mean, I feel like if religion does, it depends on religion will always be here. It'll be another head. Somehow it'll die off and it'll start up again. So, but at the same time, understanding self. If you don't know yourself, then you're lost already. That's where the starting point is. Understanding yourself and believing in yourself and loving yourself, then everything else will fall in place, because once you have that respect of self, that means you respect everything else. And that's where the whole balance of nature comes into play. Nobody respects themselves because they don't understand who they are. If we all godly beings within ourselves, we command and we can do this and do that. I mean, if we can speak and then I can hurt your feelings, that's power. If I can, if not only it's not physical, but just me just thinking or saying something to you can break you down. That's power. But we use it in bad ways. We just don't understand who we are. That's the loss. That's where we lost at. We are the most powerful beings on this planet, and we consider ourselves the weakest.
Absolutely.
I think.
But go ahead. My
Oh
bad.
yeah. No, you good. I'm there with you.
She had a hand up. She had a hand up though. I was wondering what she was gonna go
Me,
with.
No, you good.
me,
I
I
was just doing the movie.
just.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, you
Go
want to say
ahead,
something?
bro.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead,
No,
bro.
no, you good. I was just doing the mudra.
Oh,
I
I
was
got
just
you.
agreeing to what you
We
said.
completing the circuit. We completing the circuit. We letting it flow.
Absolutely.
We letting it flow. So, no, I'm totally with you on that. I think it's just how I understand things, right? I know that I am like millions of years old, right? So I understand that uh, being called ones that hadn't achieved the next level, right? Because when you achieve the next level, you know how to tap in to
Uh-huh.
the universe. You know how to tap into that inner self, right? So the thing that religion done to you is they gave you parts, but they didn't give you the whole. They kept you in belief. That's the only part that you ever get. Because people talk about how they believe in God, right? And I'm working on this relationship with God, right? Because I believe He is this, I believe He is that personification. But nobody ever has the step of knowing. Because once you know the universe and know yourself, you know that you are one. And once you can find knowing, then you can manifest. See, we can't manifest anything in this earth because we don't know. First, we don't know who we are. Secondly, we don't even know our purpose. Thirdly, we don't know who we are inside of ourselves. I don't know who I am inside of you if we're one, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's so much that was taken from us from a knowledge base or from a knowledge standpoint. It's almost like you went back to the garden, right? And he said you can eat of all these trees except that one of the knowledge of good and evil. So it's like you have been removed again from understanding knowledge, because knowledge is what will separate you from beginning believers, because you shouldn't believe in God, you should know God.
Oh,
And if you know God, you can manifest power. And the reason why you can't manifest power is because you don't know. There's verses in the Bible that I absolutely love. There's a verse that says, if my people that are called by my name would humble themselves, pray, turn from their wicked ways, he says, then will I hear from heaven, and then will I heal the earth, right? Now there's some key things in that, B. It says, if my people that he likes.
oh man, he done broke. He do that. Man, I hate when he get deep. He freezes up.
They don't want
Exactly.
them. They don't want them to talk. That's what
They
it
don't
Two,
is.
want to talk.
it says,
Yeah, Jerome, you froze up. You froze up.
my people that are called by my name would
Okay,
humble themselves. So it's
gotcha.
my name. So if you have a name that you representing, then that name is God. That's God's name. If not, what are you doing? Who you representing? Who you believing in? Who's empowering you? So we ain't gonna go deep.
No, because I believe in the Most High. I just don't give him the name or categorize it in a simple form. I got another. Hello, I'm Mother Mia. You want to piggyback off of what he said? Because I told you when he get to talking, he get to talking.
Right. I would like to insert the fact that people not knowing who they are. That is so vital to me. When this was my view of the scope of the world. I remember being a young gal telling my mom, I said, Mom, I said, people don't know who they are. And my mama looked at me, she said, don't say that. I said, Mama, these people don't know who they are. Mama thought I was crazy as a young lad telling her because of course, I'm a million years old, like you said. My soul is probably a lot older than hers. But I'm telling her, people don't know who they are. They don't forgot. And so my mama used to get on to me when I was a young girl. Quit walking around with your head in the air. I walk around with my head up, and I always call myself a queen. It's a couple of my men friends that call me queen because I always knew who I was by the grace of the Most High. So when you say people are lost, and in the Bible it says, "My people shall die shall perish from lack of knowledge." That is so true. Because how are you gonna forget who you are? Internal, not external, not your material things, but your heart, your soul, your love. Those are more important than any material aspect that you can ever attain. And so that people not know who they are hit me. That hit me because that's what I saw as a young girl. I saw a bunch of lost people, and it saddened me. And when my mama told me to basically humble myself, I'm looking at her like, I don't want to call my mama the B word, but in my mind, I was like, you know, be you out your mind. I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying? That's me. I ain't gonna disrespect my mama, but in my mind, I was like, how am I tripping? I know who I am. I know I'm like that in real life. So that's that. I really want my people to understand our birthright. Our birthright is knowledge of self, and we need to be tapping into knowledge of self. We need to know who we are internal, who we were in ancient times, and even who we still are, because their DNA is still linked to our DNA to this very day.
Ooh. Got another question I'm about to throw at y'all. I got another question. Why is free thought a problem? Why is it frowned upon for free thought or having a free spirit? Who want to take a stab first?
You want me to go?
Whatever you want to do.
Go ahead.
I think that free thought, free spiritedness, as I've always been myself. I personally think that when people say that they're afraid of or you shouldn't be that, it's because they're scared of themselves. They're afraid to be the free spirit. They're afraid to be the free thinker. So, because they're afraid, they're too worried about what everybody else is going to think or say about them. So it's all psychological, and it's a part of the brainwashing from religion that leads us to know that we have been taken away from our true essence as being who we truly are. Everybody has strong points. Everybody has weak points. If you have a strong throat chakra like I have, you're going to be more vocal. Some people don't have that, but if you can have that, if you tap into it, it's just always been a part of brainwashing to make us forget who we really are. It is our nature to be free, to think free. And we shouldn't be stuck in one box. Like we said earlier, religion puts you in a box. That's why I've never really, even though I was into the church, I never claimed religion or Christian because I didn't want to be put in a box, because I knew that there was something more outside of this box. You're not going to box me in, because I like to think. I like to understand. I like to know things more than what I've been told to know per school, per religion. So free thinking, free speaking is a part of the brainwashing to keep us under control.
Okay. Well, since Jerome and tapped out, he gonna be back in. He probably have some problems. My thought when it comes to free thinking, I think the world is scared of it. I think the world is as a whole because of how religion has, like you say, boxed us in or put us
Mhm.
or labeled us. Because if you black, everybody either thinking, especially where you're from, down south, it's Christianity all the way. Islam is nowhere down south. I mean, you have to find certain places. Me being up north, up here in Philadelphia, okay, now you got to start questioning, what people. But the association is you got to be religious no matter what. So
Mhm.
now, when I look at it now, is being free thinking because I had to break away from that. I had to break away from that church because I was so engulfed and so deep into it that in my mind, I'm thinking one day I'm going to be a minister. It was destined for me to happen, and I'm like, but I don't understand what is it doing for me. It brought discipline, but at the same time, what was it doing to help me? Because this is the question I say when it comes to religion. You tell me how to start, but you don't tell me how to finish. You don't tell me how to push through. You tell me to be saved. What do we do after that? Now you telling me whatever I do, I can put it on this one deity and say he's going to forgive me for it. In other words, where's the responsibility of yourself? And, in other words, you telling me I got to get out and free pass on a daily basis, and I'm like, damn, this is how it is. But at the same time, not understanding me and understanding history, because once you start studying history, how can you still be a part of that?
Exactly.
Be a part of that if you study the history and you study the atrocity that has happened. I mean, the Council of Nicaea is a good starting point, but then we have the paper bulls. How you say it, Jerome? The paper bulls,
That's it, there.
or this discovery, the doctrine of discovery, when this religion was pushed forward to go everywhere, go after everybody and spread this word. And if nobody believes it, I'm going to kill them.
Right.
How? How? When you say it's all about love, where's the love at if I have to kill you because you don't agree with me? I don't get it. So, yeah, free thinking. Free thinking is the way, dude. I feel like you branch out and you learn more because you ask questions that you were scared to ask questions in the past. You get to read more, you study more, you have a different mindset on looking at other different. Because I have studied other religions. I have understand that why certain people move the way they move. But to get back onto it, I feel like free thought is the way you need to be because I don't want to cap the thought process. I don't cap my kids' thought process. So when you able to respectfully, put that energy out there, understanding that, if you do it in a respectful way, people look at you and they respect you for it. But it is really, really hard to understand this fight because you're gonna fight. You're gonna have verbal fights with people because everybody's being controlled. It's like you taking the cord off of the matrix and pull it out, and it's like now, now it's time for me to learn. Because I think once you start thinking on the free thought process, you're gonna learn a lot more in life than what you already do. Where is everybody? Everybody done jumped out on me. So you see, Jerome is really having problems trying to log in. So I appreciate everybody that's on. I appreciate everybody.
I think
Yeah, I think she
I
might
think
be.
I'm back, B.
Yeah, you back, man. You back. You back. All right, you got more to put in on this on the free thought?
Did you hear
Come
me?
on. Yeah.
You know what? But I missed the whole session. I was redoing my Wi-Fi. I don't know what happened to me today. But yeah, what I was saying was I don't know what's going on. I guess the government's getting me this week. But
All right, somebody did ask a question. It's
what was
just
that last question you had asked, B?
it was a free thought. It was the free thought because we had a podcast. We did a show on free thought, or free thinking.
Yeah.
But I want to answer this question: the 5%ers down south, from in the Carolinas, no. In the Bible Belt, no. You might find a little bit here and there, but they presence are
Not really a lot.
you won't. I mean, if you find them, good luck. But you're gonna have to search and find. You might find different chapters, but down south is all Baptist or Pentecostal in a sense, especially all us being from South Carolina and Jerome being from North Carolina. You won't see that down south.
I mean,
Hey, what happened?
no. It's
Go
a
ahead.
more up top. It's a more up top thing. Can you hear me? Can you
Yeah, I
hear me?
can hear you now. Oh, now she done
Yeah, it's
bounced out.
more up top thing, but as far as what you were saying about free thought, that they do not want free thought because free thought would take away from indoctrination. Free thought takes away from me guiding what you think.
Mhm.
Because when you think freely, it spreads like a virus, right? Everybody starts to think. And once everybody starts to think, everybody starts to see clearly and see how they've been captured and enamored by this plan that they have to hold our minds under control.
Okay.
Okay,
Ah, she's
everybody's
back.
back.
She's
I'm,
back. We
I'm
lost you for a
But
no.
yeah, everybody's back.
You want to add on to that, Mother Mayotte?
Yeah,
What was the
I'm
last
sorry
thing?
about the connection. I don't know what's going on.
They
Like,
trying to get you. That's all. They trying to get you.
But
Okay, what we on now? What we on now?
we still on free thought. We still on free thought.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say that's just people choosing to not want
but yeah,
to inquire about anything.
Is it a choice or is it force?
It's a choice.
Hmm. And I'm not being a devil's advocate because I mean, it's a choice to a certain age. Um, because okay, we all been in the church. What's the? I think I got baptized at the age of 12, and it was kind of forced. And they do that to a lot of young kids. You need to do this, or you had your parents turn around and look at you like it's time for you to give your life over to.
everybody probably did.
So that's why I say, is it really a choice? Because if you're forced to be in something, you have to be at every Bible study. You have to be at every church. Because I mean, you still got to obey your parents. It's once you get on your own, that's when you need to start asking yourself. That's what I feel like. That's when you need to start understanding self because you're not under that tutelage no more. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like that's when you need to start exploring and being more because I feel like a lot of people don't because of the fear of hearing the backlash of leaving the church.
Right.
Because you leave the church, you don't hear it. You're a backslider. You're a heathen. I like the word of today is you're a heathen, which is you're not a heathen or you're an atheist because you don't believe in that God. It's negative. There's always a negativity that gets you once you leave the church.
Mm.
And so, but go ahead. Who want to jump in on that?
I personally feel like, well, I mean, it could be either or. I think free will, free thought could be either or because um I never been baptized. I grew up in the church like every other black person on planet Earth. Most of us. And My mother gave me a choice. Well, she never ever forced me, but I was like, no, I'm not getting baptized. So I absolutely grew up in the church most of my life and never got baptized because I chose not to because I didn't see a point. Um, so I always say free will and free thought is still a choice, only because if you truly, I mean, don't get me wrong, to a certain age, you're right. You don't have a choice. Your parents make you do certain things. But again, I guess it depends on the parent because if I wanted to, my mama probably would have let me, but she didn't force me to. So I made the choice not to.
Okay. 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 Quick question. I got a question. I got another. Somebody has a question that pulled up. He meant to say, do you think more people will embrace spirituality and open their minds, having several types of spirituality practices, including Christianity? I actually would say yeah. I say yeah. Because you start to
Absolutely.
understand things because they tie in together. Especially if you was to study
Mhm.
Islam or Judaism, they tie in together. I mean, you gotta
Mhm.
understand it's different language. So yes, I actually think truly. What you think, Ashley? I mean, Mother Mayat.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think more people will embrace spirituality because that's just what I'm seeing now from, like I stated earlier, me starting Natural Mamas and the influx of people that I have gotten to come, not necessarily just to support me, but to start their own healing journey or further their healing journey. So more and more people come see me for spiritual healing, spiritual products, spiritual cleansing, so and spiritual consultation. So I get a lot of people coming to me over these past 4 years to the point where it absolutely became overwhelming, and I had to take a step back to kind of refocus and figure out where I'm going with this thing. But yeah, absolutely. More people are coming more and more in troves to spirituality. They are leaving religion because they're noticing the flaws. And the Bible is a guidebook, it is a tool, and we still utilize the Bible because they actually did take a lot of our ancient texts and put it inside of the Bible. But also inside of the Bible, there are a lot of ill-mentioned things. But of course, the Bible was written at the Council of Nicaea, as y'all stated yesterday. The Council of Nicaea, and they manipulated the book to their own likings, but they also put a lot of true and just things inside of it. So it's full of allegory, it's full of mythos from ancient times, it's full of a lot of things. So we still use the tool, and it is a great tool to use, a great guidebook. We do not omit the Bible or any other spiritual books or systems.
All right, Jerome, what you think? What you think, Jerome, on that question?
If I can get it unmuted. Okay. Okay. The question. I think more people will embrace spirituality. I think more people will start to open their minds. I do believe that. Um, but just like anything, more people don't. The masses don't like to study. The masses don't like to search. The
Mm,
masses, they may want truth, but they won't sacrifice to get the truth. It'll be harder for them to let loose of the things that's held them so long uh, in the place that they are. They know they should do better. They won't do better because tradition is probably too heavy for them. Um, if the brother's asking about the 5%ers, even inside of the name of the 5%ers, everybody is not coming over. The masses is going to believe, what's told to them. That's a responsibility for us that do have a slight bit more knowledge to teach and to encourage and to keep things moving forward. But as the masses, nah, I don't see them. I don't see it being the overall change. Because people don't want to put in the work. People don't want to study. People have the Bible and they don't even study it. You know, they don't even put in the work with the religion that they say they are in. So, you know, that that's what I love free thought, man. Free thought is the basis of life, man. You know, from thought comes energy. And from energy comes power. Um,
Mm,
but sad to say, the majority is gonna be the majority.
I feel you. I feel you. All right, y'all. All right. Hey, man, what a show. I did not think it was going to go this way. Um, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Mother Mia, you don't want to get on here and get to talking. But we'll be on. I mean, we have did a 3-hour show. We will.
Hey, you
We
know I like
will.
to talk, so don't.
We
So
will
you ain't
do it.
saying nothing.
Oh, man, what happened? She'll jump back on. Um, I feel like this might be a good time
Oh
us to
no.
play.
I man, I listen, I had to apologize.
Huh? So what now?
Okay.
I
No, I
feel
was
like
saying I had to apologize for my internet. It ain't never been like that.
because they know it was on fire.
Oh yeah.
So,
Free
you
spirit,
know what?
dragonfly.
Sorry,
Peace and
guys.
blessings. Peace.
You're
Listen,
welcome back
no, it's
anytime.
all good. All right, I think we might be at a point that we can end the show, and if we can do another one, we can do another one. But I appreciate the love. I actually appreciate the attention that you brought to us, Mother Miat, because we ain't never had this many females speak on our thing. But that's the energy that I wanted to bring to today because it's a balance. Hearing a bunch of brothers like me and Jerome, I mean, we do what we do. We bounce off each other like it's
Mhm.
night. But at the same time,
Absolutely.
when it comes to understanding self, you kind of throw away idols. You don't worship idols. You start you once you worship yourself. When I say worship yourself, and that goes back to believing yourself. Because if we start talking about something like the 5% of this knowledge of self, self knowledge, open a book and read it and understand and be open minded when you see things and hear things, and don't always be quick to reject and say, "Oh, this ain't what the Bible says." Because when people say that, I automatically shut the conversation down because it's nothing that I'm gonna say that's gonna get you to understand anything. So I don't want to always be when I talk to people. I tell people in a heartbeat, dude, don't go down this rabbit hole with me because you're gonna either be mad at me because I'm gonna bring some truth to it, and I'm gonna point you in the direction where you need to do. Because the question that a lot of people ask now is, where did you hear that from, or where did you get that from? And then I turn around and I look at it as, where did you get that one book that you hold tight? Like you said, Jerome, you don't study it. You hear somebody else tell you about it. You don't hear none of the bad things that they say about this thing in that book. It is so much bad that has been done, but nobody pays no attention to it. But then you have our people bondage by this one book because you won't look left or right. But then that means you're not studying yourself because that means you letting this book be the answer to everything you is. In other words, you worshiping that. That's another idol because everything in that book you feel like, you know, what's the first verse, and it was, together. I forgot how you started. It's the word is a book, and the book is the word of God.
In the
And I'm
beginning. Mhm.
and then, but what gets me is let us create man, and I'm like, that's the first sign letting you know
Let us make man
who the hell is
make
us.
in
But
our
nobody asks the
image.
question. Oh, that was Jesus. Dude, we don't hear about Jesus until like what, 10, 11,000 years later? So you keep trying to fit somebody else into a different narrative that he's not really supposed to be in. But again, if we're gonna go with that, won't we call him by his real name? His real name is Yahshua. But I guess nobody knows that because you go by that English word that's been translated so many times. But don't let me get on to talking about this. But let's end this show on a positive note because again, I'm gonna get pissed. I'm gonna get on these rants because this shit does piss me off. And I mean, and it hurts. It hurts to see people literally see themselves only in that book and they won't go left or right off of that book. I mean,
And
this is how I was. I will be in I would be in Sunday school Bible study with 3 Bibles with 3 different translations, trying to get a full picture of what I'm reading and understanding. No, you can only use this version. So why they sell the other versions for? What's the other versions for then? You know what I'm saying? So why are you telling me so you telling me I have to stick to this one version no matter what? Come on, man. Let's get off of that shit. Let me get off. Go ahead, y'all. Y'all jump in. Let me get off of that, man. It bothers me that much. It ticks me off when I get into that, man. But go ahead. Go ahead, Mother Miyat.
okay, we can get into the real meaning of idol worship. So idol is extreme admiration, love, or reverence for something or someone.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And synonyms for idol worship is idolatrism, fetishism, iconolatry, icon worship, paganism, heathenism, hearsay, sacrilege, and ungodliness.
Holy shit.
The etymology of idol, the Greek is idios, to shape. The Latin is idolum, to form. So that means to shape or to form something. The word worship comes from Old English. It means we orthotype, acknowledge of worth. So if we put idol worship together, it means to shape or form something of worth. So idolatry in itself is the shaping of something that we deem as worthy to honor. That's something that we think is worthy. So idolatry, the key to idolatry is to not get stuck in anything outside of self. Self-worship or self-honoring is the key because knowledge of self, without knowledge of self, you won't know anything else. You won't understand that those idols or figures or whatever we worship outside of ourselves are just extensions of ourselves. Everything that we worship outside of ourselves is literally a extension of ourselves.
Uh-huh.
So when you worship outside of you, you worshiping yourself. And that's just a reflection of you. So that's what we want to get down to. Akhenaten created religion, monotheism. Before Akhenaten created monotheism, we had a multi-deity system. And the multi-deity system consists of idolatry. And idolatry is a part of our natural nature, but we saw God in everything. We saw the one in everything. And that's a part of animism. So if we get down to animism, it is seeing the God in everything. And that's what idolatry is. Don't get stuck in the one part of idol worship and understand that the one is a part of the whole. And ultimately, the whole is you. You are creating this reality. You are creating this simulation from your mind. Our ancestors understood. They understood death, life, the afterlife, all of this to be the one. Because we are in the Maya. The Ma'at is come to create the balance through the Maya so that we can go past to the next realm of existence.
Whew, boy. God damn. Got me sweating over here. I don't know what to do right now. Go ahead, Jerome. Go ahead, Jerome. Go ahead, Mr. Devon. Please, Jerome, get on this one. Come on. Bring it to me. Then I'm gonna bring the rebellious side. Go ahead. Go ahead, man. You don't know what to say.
Yeah, no, I mean, y'all are doing y'all things about the idol. You hear me?
Yeah.
All I can say, I don't know if I'm breaking up, but I just keep talking. Uh, but the idol, like I said, the idol, as she said, is something you form in your mind. I think the problem with idols is that it keeps us from moving. When you have to build an idol, whether it be um, something fictitious or something real, you have to build it in your mind. It holds you there, and it doesn't allow you to think because most of these idols come with stories, and because they come with stories, you know, that becomes your belief system. You start to believe in that idol. You start to believe in the system that is placed with that idol. Um, for me, I understand. We keep throwing, or I keep hearing the word God thrown around, and like I said, I guess being older than some languages, uh, we describe it with the language that you know, of course. But even that word is far short of understanding what the universe is. Uh,
Facts.
to say there's multiple gods, multiple idols, and then include it in the thing that is all powerful, is confusing to me. Um, but once we have a higher understanding of who we have a higher understanding of where we're going. Um, it's hard to break people free from something that they want to hold on to because it gave them worth. You know, I don't know too many people that know themselves outside of being a Christian.
Mm,
So because to say the word Christian and then you want to expound upon it, they feel offended because it's not that you're offending Christianity, you're offending who they are. You're offending what their makeup was. You're offending what their tradition is. You're offending their grandma. You know, people don't know themselves outside of the religion that they were raised in. They don't have the ability to understand that you're much older than a religion, because a religion is simply man trying to understand the universe around him and put it into words the way he can convey it to another. Um, we should be into the realm of telepathy. We shouldn't even have to move our lips to talk, but because we are grounded by what we believe and not what we know, that's what keeps us in this state. But I don't know. I pass the baton.
man, this is so deep, man. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because this is fire. This is fire. I appreciate this. Is yo. I had a bad day, and I'm thinking I'm grateful. I'm a part of this because it tends to block everything else out. Again, I always tell you, Jerome, this is therapy for me to even be on and be able to talk and express and let whatever is in me out. Um, man, boy, I don't know, man. This is fire right here. This is fire.
Absolutely.
So, but let's
Let me
go ahead.
let me jump in on something else. Let me jump in on something else, B. Uh, because you're
Go ahead.
talking about, because like I said, I think a lot um, language language keeps us so entrapped in religion. Language keeps us so entrapped in this culture. Because when you said Jesus um, was called Yahweh, right?
Got
And to me, it's like you still part of that narrative. Uh, you got to understand you're older than that title. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. That's what it truly is, just a title. Um, to understand what Yah way was simply just breathing. You was breathing in, Yah. You was exhaling, way. God was breath. God was oxygen. God was the thing that kept you alive. And like I said, those are simple terms because we're so much older than that. You know, we're so much older than the Nile Valley teachings. I don't want to offend my brothers and sisters, but we're so much older than that. To get caught up in you speak here in the recent and try to define what is ancient is kind of, we're working backwards with that. But and I understand that we gotta push through it because we gotta uh, bring up our enlightenment, right? So we can understand at a higher level. But we use terms that was given to us. You know what I'm saying? But we're trying to retrofit it into what we know is different in our past. And which is cool. I mean, you got to go with what you got. But when you validate their story by using their terminology, you know what I'm saying, and you don't understand your story, because you talk about, like, say, for instance, when you talk about the Bible and you say that book, right? It's not a book. They tell you 66 of them, but they don't tell you there was 108 of them, and it was brought and it was canonized first at the Council of Nicaea. Even the books that were canonized in 325 in the Council of Nicaea was recanonized. They even changed books after that. There's been 26 of these councils. The last one being in the 1960s. But like I said, we got to start finding our own path. Stop trying to find ourselves in their history because their history is not that old. They can't go past 10,000 years of history. I can take you in an instance 225,000 years in history in an instant. But so, like I said, until we want to put in the work and study and go deeper to find who you truly are, you still have a calcified pineal gland. It's still halfway calcified. So until you can find that full freedom, in your pineal gland, you're not ready to make the journey yet. But I absolutely love the attempts. And that's what we're here for, though. Is to learn, to motivate each other, to push each other to go deeper, to push each other to find this ultimate truth, right? Because if everything that this universe built on was, because once you can transcend what you know on this earth, and you can understand that the universe is not good nor evil, that there's no such thing as good or evil. It's just that what you experience in your human perception makes it good, makes it evil. There's so much to us, so much depth to us. I mean, but I don't want to go too far with that.
You don't want to go too far with that.
But y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead. We're just talking.
Go ahead, Mother Mott. Go ahead.
He pretty much said everything I know. Baby, our souls is ancient. Any melanated person with a soul has been here hundreds of thousands of years. So when you talk about DNA is nothing but memory. And what's being activated now is our memory. With these solar flares, these solar eclipses, right now our memory is getting upgraded. Our memory getting activated. We remembering who we used to be. And it's gonna be a mass awakening coming. And I'm just here for it. I'm here. I got my little parachute, baby. I'm falling from the sky because I'm ready for it. I'm ready for whatever they throw at us because we are the chosen ones. We are the ones. And there are some white people that have, it's like,
right.
10% white people that actually have melanin in them. And I mean, I welcome them too, because I know the ones, the ones that got the true melanin in them. But we do have a lot of, NPCs, and it's a lot of unsoulful melanated people. So we're gonna watch out for those too, because we know the ones, the ones who really own the wave, who picking up what we putting down, and those who are just robots, automatons, those who are following the systems that have been put forth by the man, and that's what they want to do. They want to keep conforming. They want to keep us and make us conform to what they're doing. But we're knowing that we're waking up. Like, we know that there's been a shaking of your soul to say this is something much more than this. Our souls are so old, and I mean, our ancestors, all of them live inside of you. So when your ancestors live inside of you, and we talk about idol worship, we talking about ancestral DNA. We're talking about worshiping your grandma, whoever just passed in your lineage, your great grandma, your mother, whoever's gone in your lineage. You are idol worshiping the people who gave life to you, who breathed life to you. And if they aren't important, I don't know who are. So if that's considered idol worship, and me worshiping my ancestors and myself is idol worship, damn it, I'm an idol worshiper. Because I enjoy every bit about everything that's attached to my lineage, my ancestors' lineage, and where we going from here. And can't nobody tell me nothing different. If I didn't know what I know, and that's why I say, you tell me if you're gonna bring some new information to the table. Tell me that I'm wrong, and then correct me. Bring me some new information. What I know is that we are ancient, and the stuff that my ancestors wrote on them walls in ancient Egypt, that I got a honor to go visit and see right before the pandemic happened. All of that knowledge they put on them walls, it was far much more than you could fathom. But to see our stuff written on their walls, to see those statues and monuments of our people, them noses, them lips, baby, them ain't white, them nigga lips. That's my people, them my cousins, them my aunties and uncles up there. So to see that we are ancient, to see that that is a part of us, and even to this very moment, to this very day, nobody can give me no religion that's going to take me away from who we used to be and who we still are.
No, it was a question. Which is a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask, is there anything y'all, I don't know, I can start it off, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. When I start off, I'm gonna say my final words. No, because it's kind of funny. I mean, I start my morning off saying, thank you, praises, thank you to the Most High. Thank you to my ancestors, because my ancestors are beside me, guiding me through whatever I'm going through, or they're guiding me to be to represent them. When it comes to words, idolism, my family, because that's my main focus in life, is to make sure that my family within my circle is safe. But do I worship it to the fact that worshiping is whatever the ancestors put in front of me? I have to worship them, because they are the ones who's guiding me through the spiritual realm that I'm going through. Because you can't walk through this spiritual walk by yourself. You can't. So you need help. So instead of me running to Jerome, which I have and which I do, because I do lean on my brother, I still go to the ancestors, ask them to help me through whatever I go through. So when it comes to worshiping, the reason why we even started this, I wish is you can go back and look at the last podcast we did. I started off the question because of the way the country is today. Is worshiping either you're Republican or you're Democrat. Either you're going for Biden or you're going for Trump. And that's it. And it was like how we're putting gods. We making these people who are human just like me and you gods, in a sense. Why? Why? And not understanding, do they even care about you? Them fuckers don't think two shits about you. But we in ourselves giving those people our money, our attention For what? To praise and raise them up to a certain level. But when it comes to, understanding self, I can be that. I am my own leader within my own realm. I am my leader in my house. I am my leader everywhere I go. Either you have to respect me as a leader or you just don't respect me at all. But that's the way I believe it within myself. So I'm gonna sign off and say my last words when I say this is it's always understanding who you are. Because if you don't understand you are, you don't love who you are, or you at ground zero and you're never gonna grow. You're just a weed that's gonna constantly infiltrate everything else and cause chaos and everything else. But once you love yourself and understand yourself and believe in yourself, what can stop you? Nothing. Because you are your own fighter. You got your own back. So that's my last words. Always love yourself, believe in yourself, look in the mirror, always say, I love you, and never be afraid that to say I love you back. Go ahead, Mother Mayat. Go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and get your final words after that. Answer the question and give your final words.
What was the question again? I forgot. Do we worship idols? Hello, yeah. Do we idolize anything? I would say that in particular, I idolize my ancestors. Because I understand their importance guiding us through this realm right now. And I idolize them by honoring them. I don't really call it idolizing, but I honor them because of their importance in the role they played in our lives now and even in the spiritual realm. Once you understand the importance of ancestor work, everybody should worship their ancestors or honor their ancestors. So idol worship to me is my ancestors are more important than outside of myself. I mean, I am the most important. I am that I am. So I am number one. My ancestors are 1.1. So yes, I idolize myself first and my ancestors as my first line of defense. And anything outside of that is kind of neither here nor there. But my most important piece of knowledge I want to leave is that tap into your own power, tap into knowledge of self, and honor your ancestors. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo.
Brother Jerome, finish us off, man. Jerome, go ahead and finish us off, man.
Well, I don't know how my internet's going. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm probably dragging right now, but I'm gonna just go ahead and talk through it. All right. So the question was, is there anything that I idolize, right? I don't know if I idolize anything because I don't know if my attention span is that good.
Ooh.
Um, there may be things like, because like I said, we like to use the English language, and in the English language, we'll use one word to cover a multitude of different things, right? I think I honor um, the ancestors by doing what I'm supposed to do. I think I admire the ancestors for what they went through and what they've done for us. I think I'm inspired by what I can become because of the ancestors and their sacrifice. Um, like I said, I don't know about idolize because my attention span is not that good. Um, if this is our close, and I'll say this, I want to throw something out at you. Um, so we talk about history and how important history is to us, right? Just a little bit of history, like most of what we called civilization and the culture part of civilization we thought came from the Greeks at first. The Greeks first in 750 AD or thereabouts had some literature come out written by Homer called the Odyssey. And of course, he did the Iliad too. But that was like 700 AD. And that's where we thought that, culture started. Not that there wasn't intelligence prior to, but that's where that's what you were taught in school. Then we found out about the pyramids. And the pyramids being about 9,000 years old, right? 9 to 10, however you want to put them in that time range. Then we found out the Sphinx was older than the pyramids. The Sphinx being maybe 26 to 27,000 years old, right? So we know that all of that predates European history. There's no European history that goes far back as that, right? Well, what you don't know is that because I know she's talking about looking on the walls and seeing the black faces, which were absolutely amazing. She probably went to the Temple of Luxor and you saw the biblical stories on the wall that were 14,000 years older than when they river. And there's also a drawing of the Mississippi River, and that Egypt was actually called the other land. And so here in America, they have pyramids. Here in America, they have temples that are older than the pyramids that are in Africa. The Smithsonian won't allow you to go to those pyramids in the Grand Canyon. We are so old, man. It's like, take for example, I told you the pyramids were around 27,000 years old. There's a place in present day Swaziland. This is in Africa, Swaziland. They have an old iron mine, and this iron mine is called the Lion's Mouth or the Lion's Gate, either translation. Now, this is iron mine. So they had the ability to take this rock and make it into metal. You would transmute it into metal, right? So you had that's technology to take rock, transmute it into metal, and to fashion whatever you were going to fashion with it. Now this iron mine is 50,000 years old. 50,000 years old. So we've been dealing with technology, even on that side of the earth, for over 50,000 years. We know that there's books that are in Mali that predate 200 to 250,000 years of knowledge. So in those books, you will never hear Yahshua in those books.
Oh.
I won't go. You can follow me on that. The history is older than what we know. Religion, because we're so indoctrinated, we want to take away Christianity, but we want to fill it with another religion. You have to understand that the universe is you. Every part of the universe is you. You can find it inside of you. The temples that she went into, if you look above the temples, what it says is to know the universe itself. So I'm glad we're doing this because I hope it awakens people. Excuse me. I hope it awakens something inside of them that wants to know more, that wants to dig deeper, that wants to see more, right? But this has been absolutely beautiful today. Thank you to our guests. You have made the show a lot better. You have broadened it, and hopefully we'll have you on again. But yeah, that's all I got.
Again, Mother Mia, appreciate you.
All right, much gratitude,
Oh, wait a minute.
King.
Like, share, hit the notification button.
Yeah, because we on YouTube at the 300 Monster Podcast. Like you say, like, share, I like the interaction with the questions today. Um, we don't do this for likes. We just do this just because this is what we do. Um, if you like, I mean, likes are likes. People gonna, it's only a certain few of people gonna understand what we even saying, and not thinking it's crazy or as, in a disarray. But I appreciate the love. I appreciate anybody that take the time out to listen to us. Thank you. Thank you again. I appreciate the ancestors by intersecting and being a part of this with us. And hey, hopefully we can continue building, and we gonna do this again. Um, Mother Miat, you welcome to come on anytime you feel free. And yo, Jerome, this is motivation to keep pushing, man. 'Cause we've been doing this since 2019. 2019 is when we've been doing so. So, hey, we gonna sign out, y'all. This is the Three Headed Monster podcast, y'all. Peace.
Peace and love.